Next on BNI Mid-America TV, it's the Gold Club Member Spotlight Show. Gold Club members have sponsored 6 or more people into BNI, and they are here to share their secrets with you. If you want to improve your inviting techniques, then this is the show for you. And now, our host, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of BNI Mid-America TV. This is the Gold Club Member Spotlight Show, and I'm your host, Jennie Bellinger with Level Up Coaching, LLC. I'm here today with Stephen Laiderman, and I'm pretty sure of all the interviews I've done, he's been in the longest as a Gold Club member and a BNI member. So Stephen, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
We are so glad to have you here, Stephen. So let us know, well, first of all, tell us what's your business and who do you help?
Well, I'm a business and estate planning attorney. So we help people who have want an estate plan. They want to plan for their family. They want to plan for their children, their spouse, other loved ones, and assist them in planning for their businesses, setting up LLCs, corporations, doing real estate work, business transaction, purchasing and selling of businesses.
Very cool. And what's the name of your law firm?
It's the Laiderman Law Firm, and we're here in Creve Coeur, near just west of 270 and Olive.
Oh, okay, great. And how long have you been a BNI member?
I've been a BNI member right at 26 years. Started whatever that is 1995, I think.
That sounds right. We'll go with that. And what would you say? I'm sure you have got some great stories in 26 years of membership, but what would you say is your favorite BNI success story?
Favorite BNI success story? Well, I don't think I have any one preferred story. I mean, I just have a lot of great experiences. I've been seeing a lot of members come and go, but we have our chapter is pretty unique. Probably a good third or better, maybe half of our members have been in close to 10 plus years or more. So I have a really close relationship with a lot of the members, use their services on a regular basis. And it also makes it a whole lot easier for me to make referrals to my clients and other professionals I deal with, because I have this long-term relationship and I know I can rely on them to follow through with my clients and other advisors I work with.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And with all of this time that you've been a BNI member, you've been a Gold Club member from the very first year that you started. How was it that you were able to sponsor 6 new members in your first year?
Well, in the early time, it was easy because we were building a chapter. So we were trying to get new members. So it was everybody we knew that would fit a professional category that we were trying to fill. But over the years, for me, it's rather easy. I mean, I come from a sales background. I am a lawyer, but I grew up in a sales business. So I meet a lot of people. I'm not just inside my business, but outside my business. So anytime I meet with a professional or a business owner, somebody providing services that I like, I happen to ask them if they have heard of BNI, and most of them hadn't. And so with that, I introduce them to what we do, and I invite them to a chapter meeting. I tell them there's no cost or obligation, and but I can recommend them and their services to other professionals. And most people that when they're invited are very excited to be invited, especially if it comes from an attorney. And so it just makes it easy. Anytime I meet somebody, I know what they do because it's a client. So if they're in business, I know what their business is. If they're just a couple coming in for ordinary planning, I get to know what they do for a living. And if I see an opportunity, I ask them to come to a meeting.
That is a great point, because I think there are a lot of us who take a look at our customers and clients and don't necessarily see a potential visitor. And so it makes perfect sense, especially if you're working with other people. If you just, because I mean, what's the second question we ask somebody after their name? What do you do?
What do you do, right? And it doesn't matter if I'm in a meeting with a client. Of course, I meet new people every day in my business. But outside the business, if I happen to be socializing, if I happen to be at a party, or a get together or a celebration, you do the same thing. What do? How long you been doing it? And never think twice to ask somebody, hey, have you heard of BNI, as something to help them grow their business.
Mm. And so you obviously have not, with all of this inviting, you've probably continued to sponsor over the years. Any idea of how many members you've potentially sponsored in 26 years?
Oh, lots. And some come and go. Just sponsored a new member in our chapter the other day, a new mortgage broker that we were replacing for somebody who had dropped out because he became ill. And actually was working with him on a mortgage, and he did a great job. And I say, hey, have you heard of BNI? I think he'd heard of it, but I don't know if he attended any meetings, and invited him in, and immediately he was interested, and he did a great job for me. So he was really easy to recommend to the other members, and he just got approved.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. So it's nice to know that 26 years later, you're still sponsoring. Some people would think that maybe we would stop at 6, but when you have a true giver's gain mentality, it sounds like that's a really easy conversation to have.
Yeah, it's not a struggle to, when you're going to help somebody and they're going to grow from it and get additional business, and almost everybody wants to get more business. It's a great opportunity. I always chuckle at the guys that show up to meetings and they say, well, I got to drop out because I'm too busy. And I'm like, no, the reason you're busy is you're here. You need to stay in and find a way to deal with the business rather than drop out of the meeting. So, but I've stayed with it for 26 years, regardless of how busy I get.
Right. And I would definitely agree with that. If I remember correctly, there's even a podcast where Dr. Ivan Misner talks about the I'm too busy. I believe he called it an excuse, the I'm too busy statement to continue in BNI. And he gave some great information. So I'll see if I can't find that podcast episode for you and send that to you. So that way, the next time you hear it, you can be like, hey, why don't you listen to what Dr. Misner says about that?
Right. Well,
you can listen to me.
I'm sure his podcast was based on something I said.
Probably. They sound very similar. I'll tell you that much. So, but it's also helpful because, when you hear it from the founder, people go, oh, whereas from the, it's hard to be a prophet in your own land, right?
Right.
No. Well, Stephen, I really appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedule to share this information with us, because that prospecting tip of just asking the question of people you're already talking to, already working with, to see if they've heard of BNI. Because surprisingly, even though we've been around for, 26 years now in the St. Louis area, there's still people who've never heard of it.
Oh yeah, and all of us meet people every day. We run into them and we get chatting with them about what they do, and it's just easy. It's when you hear that and you hear the profession and you realize it's something we haven't got in the group, I just automatically ask them. It's just really they make it very simple. And the goal is not only to grow the group, but also grow my referral sources, because if they get referrals from me, then hopefully they're going to give referrals back to me. And that's how I've grown my business.
I think that makes perfect sense, especially knowing that that's the way that BNI is supposed to work. So,
right.
All right, Stephen. Well, I so appreciate you being here. And for those of you who are watching this and you're in Stephen's chapter, make sure you share this out on social media and with your clients so that maybe they can answer the question about whether or not they've heard of BNI and become your visitor. If you're watching this and you haven't had a one-to-one with Stephen Laiderman, please reach out to him. Use his BNI Connect profile link in the description down below. Connect with Stephen and have a one-to-one with him. Learn more about him and his business and how he has sponsored more than 6 in 26 years. So, Stephen, thanks again for being here on the Gold Club Member Spotlight.
Thanks for inviting me, and I look forward to meeting anybody who wants to talk to me.
Awesome. So, guys, you know how this goes. Stay tuned because we have another episode coming up tomorrow.
For more information on how BNI can help you build your business, book your complimentary consultation with Virginia Moose-Keith at discoverbnimitamerica.com. BNI Mid-America TV is brought to you by the Bergman Insurance Group, your trusted source for Medicare information, education, and enrollment. Be sure to check out the show notes for additional information on how to contact today's host or guest about their business and thanks for watching.